Yo guys, this is Not a Please here, and we're back this time for UBC week 10, I believe. No, it's actually week 9. Let me think, hold on. Yeah, week 9, my bad. So this time, week 9, and we're playing a special person this time. We're playing Carney. Now, if you don't know, Carney's the person who made Battle Area, so I'm very thankful to have, perhaps for someone in the community who actually essentially gave us kind of a home, if you will. Obviously, people use Discord for discussions and stuff, but Battle Area is what it is. Like, it gives us an area to battle in for League specifically, for us to have, forums that are just for the League people. Not forums, but more like, what do you call them? I forgot. Chat rooms, my bad. So yeah. Alright, let's get on to the actual team building. So our team, if you don't know, it's Zygarde 50%, Jirachi, Tapu Bulu, that's our Z-move user, Porygon 2, Mantine, Nihilego, Hawlucha, Raikou, Pangoro, and Mega Camerupt. This will all be on the side right here, of course. And so, his team, he has some pretty interesting stuff, both good and interesting. He has Mega Latios. He has Thundurus Incarnate, which is a Z-move mod, Lucario, Roserade, Arcanine, Chansey, Primarina, T-Tar. Ooh, Sandslash, Ground type. It says Sand/Sand, but it means Ground type. It's just a normal Sandslash. Dusknoir, Floatzel, regular Lopunny. Alright, so you see what I'm saying? Like, interesting, alright, regular Lopunny. Could be like some sort of, the niche of regular Lopunny is Trick with Assault Vest, because it has Klutz, so it doesn't worry about having to, it doesn't worry about not being able to use status moves, because Klutz ignores that. And then, some threats here. Primarina looks pretty threatening. Of course, it's threatening against almost every team. Arcanine seems really annoying, because, more specifically, if you look at the team that we brought, it gives us a bit of a trouble, right? Because obviously super effective against these two. Close combat, wild charge, close combat, toxic, whatever. And Will-O-Wisp, you know what I mean? So yeah, we're in a bit of trouble versus Arcanine. And so, during the whole prep, of course when I prep, I'm always focused on all the Pokemon, but I always particularly focus more on Mons that can be pretty annoying versus the whole team. Because the rest of my draft, stuff like Hawlucha and Raikou, they don't struggle necessarily against Arcanine, but they don't beat it. And Mega Camerupt beats Arcanine pretty well, but it's pretty bad versus the team. Mega Latios walls it pretty much, because it doesn't get Shadow Ball or anything. Its coverage move is Flash Cannon, which is not strong enough. It doesn't break Latios. And so, yeah, so Arcanine, pretty interesting to point out, but I do think it's a pretty good Pokemon. The rest of the threats, T-Tar, Primarina, Thundurus Incarnate, these are pretty obvious why they're threatening. It's because they're so powerful naturally. Let's move on to the team builder already. So, first we've got Zygarde. Shout out to Snivy, he loves his snake-like Pokemon. Lumberries for Arcanine with the Will-O-Wisp to let us try to get a Dragon Dance off versus it, and possibly win, because his team is pretty vulnerable to Zygarde, especially after a Dragon Dance. He doesn't really have good switches to Thousand Arrows, and more importantly, 1,000 Arrows Outrage, right? After a Dragon Dance, it's going to be tough for him to beat. We also have Extreme Speed, just nice to have priority. I had no other move really needed, so yeah, Extreme Speed to help me maybe chip off of something before I get a Dragon Dance off, or just kill something off before I'm able to outspeed it. So, good to have. Moving on to the EV spread, it's meant to outspeed Roserade, because that's really, Roserade and Lucario. Those are the things I wanted to outspeed, because those are crucial to outspeed with this Pokemon. Max attack, rest, and HP. Moving on, we have Jirachi. This is a pretty weird set. It's not necessarily unheard of, but it is weird. It's more of a defensive set, hence the leftovers. And honestly, I only have 2 rockers on this team, being Jirachi and Camerupt. Three, with Nihilego. But the other 2 aren't coming, so I need Stealth Rock on Jirachi. And so, yeah, about that, why Ice Punch, why Iron Head, why Body Slam? So, essentially, in a sense, Yeah, offensive Jirachi, it's not bad versus his team, but he has stuff like Arcanine that can take a hit. And I'm really going to need like Fire Punch or Zen Headbutt or Drain Punch to hit Lucario super effectively. And yeah, let's see. Like his lower tier stuff like Dusknoir and Sandslash, those are bulky enough to eat hits pretty well. Even though it's unlikely they're coming. My point is like offensive, physical Jirachi just doesn't do that well versus his team. It hits a few things hard, right? But two of those things being Latios and Thundurus, they outspeed it, so you know, I'm going to have to worry about getting hit first. So that's why I went with Bulk, honestly. Because I just didn't think having an offensive Jirachi would be very helpful here. Speed is meant to outspeed... Sorry, hold on. I guess Arcanine. Because... Yeah, it was Arcanine, because that's the thing that could possibly outspeed. Maybe get a Body Slam off beforehand. Alright, I'm going to be clear. I really hope I don't come off as like Bronson or something who would probably love to use hacks. Iron Head Body Slam to just his advantage and win. But for me, Body Slam was just a filler move. I'm serious. I have Iron Head for stab and Ice Punch for Thundurus and Latios. That's it really. It also hits Roserade. But my point is like I'm not one of those people who like wanted the hacks. It's just like Body Slam was a filler move. And so yeah, moving on, we have Wham Hammer. Wham. Shout out to the best band ever. Rip George Michael. You know, we got the Buganium Z for Latios, really. And then, right, Megahorn, of course, it's for Latios, I already said that. Wham Hammer to hit as hard as possible. This thing's gonna drop lines, dude. This thing's so powerful. Hornleech for a bit of recovery. And Stone Edge is just for Arcanine. And that's ever if... sorry. Arcanine and Thundurus. And that's ever if we need to stand on them, which I hope does not happen because they both carry super effective moves versus this. Thundurus being HP Flying or Sludge Wave, Arcanine Fire Stab, of course. Moving on to the EV spread, this was another one of those pretty interesting EV spreads because his speed tiers, a lot of his Pokemon outsped this. And so I was like, oh, maybe I could go like no speed, but then I saw Cheetar. So yeah, this is how outspeed his Tyranitar if it's Jolly, which I doubt it will be if he breaks it. But, you know, just in case, because, like, at this point, the EV was kind of hard, the EV spread was kind of hard to determine for the speed. But, you know, just outspeed Tyranitar, pretty simple. And max attack to hit as hard as possible, rest in HP. Oh, excuse me. Alright, so we got Pangoro. If you don't understand the nickname, this is one of my friends' names. So, yeah, we got a Scarf Pangoro here. A bit interesting. I think a Scarf Pangoro is actually really good versus his team for speed control. Just to give you an idea, with max special attack... with max speed, it outspeeds Thundurus by 1 point. Exactly 1 point. So, that really helps me hit it with the super effective Ice Punch. We got Superpower for Tyranitar, Chansey, Lucario, you know, just fighting stab on a fighting type, pretty simple. Crunch over Knockoff to hit Latios harder. Now we got Parting Shot to really give me some pivoting here, because I don't have any other pivot on this team. You saw there was no U-turn on Jirachi, and I didn't need any other move. Of course, Gunk Shot could be useful to hit Primarina super effectively, but the thing is, locking myself into Gunk Shot, especially when he has so many things that can take it, is just a bad idea. So I just had to go Parting Shot. It really helps because Parting Shot works versus his whole team, as opposed to Gunk Shot, which only works versus Primarina. I already explained the EV spread, but max speed to outspeed everything, max attack to hit hard. Moving on, we got Wham time. Again, shout out to the best band, Wham. If you disagree, consider yourself blocked from my channel. You know, we got leftovers, of course, because Mantine, being a defogger, this isn't something I'd want to run a berry on and miss out on the what they call it, residual recovery. So I decided to go leftovers, and it also wouldn't even check Thundurus with a Wakanberry anyway, so that'd be pointless. Water Absorb to help me possibly take a water move from Floatzel. Pretty unlikely. Oh, but from Primarina, pretty likely too. Sorry, I don't know how I missed Primarina as I was looking at the team. And yeah, so looking at it, Roost and Defog, pretty straightforward. Recovery, he can hazard stack me with Roserade potentially, so of course we're using Defog. Air Slash, it's just like, I needed one attacking move basically, and so I go Air Slash because Roserade basically. Because if I'm having it if I'm bringing Defog Roserade, I need to beat the Roserade. Because if I don't, if I just have Scald, it can just set up hazards regardless. I can't beat it that way. And Haze, just in case he brings like Calm Mind Latios, if he tries to set up with the Lucario, I can Haze them to make them less threatening. EV spread, this is a standard spread, to be honest. Let me explain better though. It lets me take hits from Primarina pretty well as giving me the physical bulk to check Lucario pretty well, bar Thunder Punch or Stone Edge, which I don't think he's going to bring versus my team, because those moves, of course, they hit Mantine, but they don't really hit the rest of my team, so that's about it. Really, just the EV spread should take hits from most of his Pokemon relatively well, barring super effective moves from like Thunderbolt from Thunder. So, we got Porygon. This really completes the bulk of my team, like the bulk, like the actual bulk. I don't mean that as in like the phrase, but yeah, it's like it completes the bulk of my team because it helps me take hits. Excuse me, from like Thundurus mostly, barring Fighting Z, which is something to watch out for. I will need to watch out for that. But yeah, also lets me potentially take hits from Primarina while being able to recover. Because Mantine, I hopefully plan on using Mantine to switch in a lot, but with hazard damage stacking up from Stealth Rocks, it loses 25%. Porygon, on the other hand, takes only 12.5, so Porygon will be able to consistently switch in, recover, as opposed to Mantine, which can't. That's the real reason why I really have it. Ice Beam to hit. He has some things weak to Ice Beam. Latios, Thundurus, Roserade. Those are all pretty threatening, so good to have. Obvious. Toxic is for to prevent Latios from freely setting up. Of course, I'm going to Ice Beam versus it to scout out for substitute, because, I mean, it'd be bad if he subs my Toxic, as opposed to being able to Ice Beam to scout that out. Toxic also lets me hit Arcanine potentially, because Porygon can't really hit Arcanine hard. And things like Tyranitar on the Switch potentially. Yeah, Chansey though, it has Natural Cure and it has Heal Bell, so that could negate the potential of Toxic. But Chansey, I have 3 things that can really switch into Chansey. These 2 have to watch out for T-Wave, right? Ice Beam won't hit this thing hard, even though it doesn't have like Yashiberry. Ice Beam, I don't have to worry about that. So my point is like, Toxic's still good, despite him having a really good Cleric. Try attack for stab, and just to hit things that I can hit for neutral damage, such as Primarina, such as it was honestly a filler move. I thought stab is a pretty good way to add a filler move to a Pokemon. Max HP and Spidef to help me check Thundurus better, because that's the bigger threat here. And I didn't need, like, having Max wouldn't make much of a difference versus it, so I just put the rest in defense. Alright, let's get on with the game. Alright. No Arcanine. That really surprised me, right? Because I was like, damn, dude. I thought Arcanine would be really good. But then again, his counters to Zygarde are a bit lacking. He has checks, of course. He has Latios, potential Ice move. I mean, obvious Ice move. It should have an Ice move. Primarina checks it, obviously. And so my point is, like, but then again, what can switch in on 1,000 arrows pretty well? Potentially Chansey, depend. I don't think it can take it that well, but probably it won't to a KO before a Dragon Dance, that's for sure. And so looking at it, Zygarde's really good. Bulu is really good, man. Like, okay, yeah, he has Lucario and Latios, but things gonna take so much from Woodhammer. And I have the Z move for this, so, you know, I anticipate Tapu Bulu to do really well. Scarf Pangoro, again, really well, really good potential here. Mantine, actually, I was really surprised. I thought Mantine in the matchup here does way better than I initially thought, because it can take hits from Floatzel. Barring Thunder Punch and Stone Edge, it can take hits well from Lucario. It can eat Moonblast pretty well from Primarina. Excuse me. Chansey's whatever, Lopunny's whatever, and Porygon's whatever too. So Jirachi's pretty good too here. So yeah, about time. Let's get on with the actual game. So yeah, looking at this, Bulu's a good threat, right? So I decide to lead off with it. I decide he leads off with Floatzel, and I run the calc. What if he's HP poisoned? Well, if he's Hidden Power Poison Choice Specs, it actually has a chance to kill Bulu with my spread. It's a roll, but I'm not gonna let Bulu get weakened so early, dude. That's just not good. So I go into a good switch in Mantine. He won't have HP Electric because, I mean, if he's gonna have a Hidden Power, it's gonna be Hidden Power Poison because Bulu is the bigger threat. As you can see, he goes for Ice Punch. Does not do much. And I find out based off the damage, he's actually banded Floatzel, right? So now, since he can since he has to lock himself into a move, I can play around with versus it way easier. So yeah, I think. Oh, okay. Now he's probably gonna switch out. But switch out into what? I believe he switches out into Chansey here. Yeah. And then I switch out into Jirachi. Yeah, alright, sorry. So, basically, right here, I don't think he's going to be very threatened to... I don't think he's going to want to switch out. And even then, as you remember, I'm a defensive Jirachi, so attacking won't really have much of an advantage for me. I just go for rocks, basically. Rocks. He goes for his own rocks. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, now what's he going to do? Okay. He might just stay in. Or, so I go into Porygon 2. Why do I go into Porygon 2? Well, he's not going to Toxic this Jirachi, so I have nothing to worry about by switching in. I really wanted to scout for the T-Wave, basically, because I don't really care if Porygon gets paralyzed. Here, it's not as crucial as I initially thought it would have been to bring to the game. And it's a wall anyway, so it's not like... The loss in speed doesn't really mean too much. Of course, if I get fully paired, that will suck, but I don't think that will be the case. And I have reason low punny. And remember what people run with regular low punny. They run Assault Vest Klutz most of the time with Trick. So now he doesn't have that doesn't necessarily mean he will be Assault Vest, but I assume he's gonna have some item that will negatively affect my team. So I go into the Bulu because I have a Z move. He can't trick that. And watch. Switcheroo. Sorry, my bad, but Switcheroo Trick, same thing. Now here, I was like, do I make the play? Right, I could go for a Wood Hammer, clearly. It's pretty good. Grassy turns up, can just do a lot of damage, but do I go for the play? The play being Bug Me MC Mega Horn. I just thought about it. I didn't think about it too long. And now the Grassy Terrain wore off. And I was like, oh! Yeah, I did it, man. I flexing, right? Oh my god, that was a huge advantage for me, man. Latios? It's Mega Latios. That thing could have been so threatening. Could have set up on me. It could have just fired hard fire off a lot of damage. It just could have done so much. So I'm really glad it's out of the way. Now it comes in Lucario. Now here, I go into Mantine, honestly, as a sack. I didn't really intend to keep this thing much longer. Since Floatzel has to lock itself into one move, I didn't really feel like Mantine is necessary. And I also have Haze anyway. Sorry. So, and since Latios is gone, I don't really need the Haze on this as badly. So I go to Chansey as I go for Roost. Because obviously it's good to recover. And so now, I believe I go back into Bulu. Oh, sorry, Jirachi. Just because Bulu is really important, so I want to preserve its health and prevent it from getting status as much. And so he goes for a Seismic Toss, typical Chansey stuff here. And so, yeah, now I go for an Iron Head, I believe. Just to try to flinch, trying to get off chip damage. Oh, no, I go for Body Slam, my bad. And yeah, this thing has Limber, so the... Oh, no, sorry. This thing has Klutz, my bad. Yeah, so, hoping for a pair, I did not get one. And now he goes for a Switcheroo. It turns out he's actually Black Sludge. And I was like, oh, wow. That actually really sucks. It's not game-changing, but it's obviously a bit of a disadvantage. So I go for the Iron Head. And now I think, alright, time to go for another Iron Head to finish it off. Oh, sorry. Shoot. What the hell happened? Sorry. Alright, so Iron Head goes into Floatzel. Now again, he has to lock himself into one move. The Floatzel learns Crunch, right? So I go into Mantine. Trying to predict that Crunch. Nom nom nom. As you can see, we still eat it, right? So, Mantine just doing so well out here. Of course I go for the Roost, because I need to recover to keep Mantine alive. And now I go into Pangoro, because I think, okay, if he switches out, I still have the advantage because I outspeed everything, and I can parting shot. Of course, Primarina could be max speed choice scarf, sure. That's a dumb set, and it doesn't hit as hard. Lucario, you're not gonna bring a Scarf Lucario. This thing has like all the setup in the world, all the setup options in the world, all the different moves in the world. Why would you lock that? Why would you lock it into just one, right? So of course, I know here that Pangoro is just really good. He optimizes Sand and Crunch. I decided to parting shot right here because I wasn't really sure what he was going to bring in, and so I didn't want a superpower if he went into Primarina. And so yeah, I just go for parting shot because I think that's the best play. Now I go parting shot again, as you can see. Go to Wham time. Yeah, I see Swords Dances, and I was like, not a problem, to be honest. I have a Zygarde at full health. It can eat any hit. It can eat Extreme Speed, Bullet Punch, whatever, man. And I can just hit it with 1,000 arrows and just goes bye. Bye-bye. And so yeah, so I wasn't really scared, to be honest. He Ice Punches, eat it up, and I just go for Roost. Now keep in mind, I have the Haze, right? So that makes this thing even less of a threat. As you can see, he tries the SD again. But yeah, Haze. I remember the first time they revealed Haze in the Pokemon anime. It just looked so cool because like it was like the Weezing going for Haze versus Flareon or whatever. Yeah, I just thought it was a really cool sequence. And so now he goes into Primarina. I don't really have a switch into this. And like I said, I intended Mantine as a sack, so I just stand trying to get off damage because I don't need Mantine. As you can see, I got a flinch. How much does that flinch matter? Not much at all, because you'll see right here what happens. I go for another Air Slash. And he goes for a Moonblast. Gets a Spit Hack Drop, but that's whatever. So my point is, like, if I didn't get the flinch, this would have just happened to turn earlier. Where now I have to Roost stall to keep, now I have to keep roosting to keep, my Mantine alive. And yeah, it just happens again. Spoilers, it happens for another turn. And at this point, I'm not getting any progress done. I need to switch out. I have a pretty good fairy resistant Jirachi, so I don't need to worry about, having something to take a hit. Now here, I wish I just went for Iron Head, to be honest. Simply because getting off more damage. Paralyzing this thing wouldn't have mattered. But I go for Body Slam anyway. Does not matter though, because I have a great check being the Zygarde. You know, Snivy, eat your heart out, man. Because I just go for the 1,000 arrows. Bam! Down. Right, of course. Now it goes into Float Stone. Now E-Speed does not kill, so I want to switch out to keep Zygarde healthy. And I go into Porygon too, because if he's not going to go for the Water move, because I have a Mantine with Water Absorb. So Ice Punch does a nice 20%. I believe I Hard Switch out. Yeah, and I go into the Pangoro, where, you know, switching somewhere. I go for the Superpower. Bam, dead. Okay, let's see what else it goes into. Now it goes into Lucario. I was like, oh, maybe it doesn't even get Mach Punch, so bam, dead, of course. He wouldn't be Scarf, because that's weird. Yeah, now he goes into Floatzel, and I want to try to preserve Differential, so I was like, I don't think he would Water move, but I just go into Porygon anyway, just because Porygon could take the Waterfall, and then if he locked himself into it, then I just go into Mantine, and just beat it from there. But yeah, fortunately, I lived both. Preserved the differential, 5-0. Nice win. Good game too. About that, of course, you know, I mean, Carney, score-wise, may not seem like he did well, but Carney had a rough matchup this game. I had a lot of good threats versus this team, so there is no shame in losing 5-0 with a struggling matchup like that. Also, it's worth noting that Carney prepped for the wrong Mega, because the thing about the UBC doc is that my team is right next to another person's team who has a Mega Blastoise. So he was like, yeah, shoot, I accidentally prepped for that because I mixed up the teams, which is understandable. But one thing I want to clarify is that I don't know how he would defeat Mega Blastoise. I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's just like, see, he struggled with beating Mantine, and that's a bulky water as well. Granted, Mantine has better recovery than Blastoise, but my point is, like, I didn't really see how he could beat that necessarily. Maybe with Primarina, maybe with the Calm Mind Latios with Thunderbolt, but then again, same thing applies. Yeah, so pretty good game. Good game. Happy about the win. Definitely bounced back from last week facing North. Next week, though, we're facing Turk. Now, Turk, if you're watching this, I respect you, but I really want to beat you. And that's a good thing, because you're a good player, and I really want to beat good players. Yeah, matchup-wise, it's fairly even from what I've seen so far. But you know what? I don't care what you say. We're gonna beat Turk, right? If we lose, okay, that's whatever. But I really hope we beat him. Stay tuned for next week's game. Bye.